Hello, people. I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA, who won't stop kicking me KIRK.
I got a funny feeling. I got a funny feeling. Yeah.
We're looking at Hotstar Specials. I read that correctly. Hotstar Specials presents 100. Official trailer, Lara, Dutta, Rinku, Rajguru, and Karan, Wahi. This is from Disney Plus Hotstar VIP. This is interesting because I thought Disney had abandoned all Indian prospects.
Not anymore,
But,
apparently.
Yeah, because the last thing I'm aware of that Disney associated with for India was actually Dangal, which was weird to me because Dangal was phenomenally successful.
I thought it was Jaga Jesus.
Whatever.
Same.
Whatever. I mean, yeah. So, my point is, my understanding was Disney was no longer working with India, but this is new. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and thank you Tanmay Agrawal for making subtitles for us. You're
Yes.
very kind.
Thank you, Tanmay Bhat.
Not every Tanmay is Tanmay Bhat, okay?
Look, it's all Uday Rathod's fault, okay?
इंडिया में सबके सपने स्विट्जरलैंड होते हैं।
I was literally gonna say Sound of Music.
नेता की यही कहानी थी।
जानती है कि तू ये क्या है?
कड़ी पत्ता।
नहीं, ये तू है। वड़े में डाल दो तो वड़े का स्वाद बढ़ा दिया, पोहा में डाल दो तो पोहे का। करी पत्ते की खुद की सब्जी देखी है क्या तूने?
Oh.
मेरी जिंदगी भी खास जुदा नहीं थी। सपने तो जेम्स बॉन्ड थे, पर असल में थी डिपार्टमेंट की आइटम गर्ल।
छोटा हुआ तुम्हें बता दो।
हम लोग पुलिस वाले, गोलियां चली गई।
मेरे को स्विट्जरलैंड जाने का चलेगा?
स्विट्जरलैंड? पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे?
Oh no.
Rumors are spreading very fast. You have only 100 days to wait.
100 days?
तुम
Wow.
चाहो ना, तुम्हारी जिंदगी कोई फिल्म से कम नहीं होगी।
तो मैं आज से नेत्रा 2.0।
देखो ये मिशन मेरे लिए बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है।
मैडम ये बोर्ड से होने वाला काम है। कुल मिला के आपके चेकिंग अकाउंट में 22 लाख। आपकी भी डिटेल है मेरे पास।
कौन सी पिक्चर देख रही तू आजकल?
कल के न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ लेना। मैं म्युनिसिपैलिटी बिल्डर को लूटेगी और कहेगी आपकी दोस्ती। बच्चन जी के साथ एक सेल्फी दे दो ना। मर रही है मैं मैडम।
फिर डंडा मारूंगी।
Hotstar Specials presents 100 25 अप्रैल से Disney Plus Hotstar VIP पर।
Well, you can watch that now on Disney Plus Hotstar.
I think I got a little bit confused. Who has the tumor?
The young girl.
And who is the young girl to the police lady?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It seems like they just kind of crossed paths and then realized that maybe they could help each other. But like the trailer was moving really fast, so I'm not sure if it was like they're trying to pull off a heist or if they're trying to nab the bad guys. Because I got the sense that the police lady, she's not happy in her job because she is a badass, but her work is not allowing her to fully live up to her potential because all she is like the eye candy, right?
We have an interesting article here. It says Hotstar Specials presents 100-star Lara Dutta met with real-life cops to understand her character more closely. It says New Delhi. This summer, Hotstar Specials has teamed up with RAT Films to launch 100, a story that chronicles the many misadventures of two contrasting women set in the backdrop of Mumbai. It's Charles and crime gangs.
It's trolls.
It's Charles and crime gangs. A masala entertainer, 100 marks the digital debut of Bollywood's Lara Dutta and Marathi cinema's Rinku Rajguru as they come together to form the most dysfunctional duo of 2020.
Oh, definitely got that feeling.
Lara, who essays the role of ACP Samya Shukla, went through her own research and preparation for the show. To perfectly sink into the character, Lara met with some real-life, on-ground female officers who have been tasked with numerous operations and have climbed the ladder of success within the police department. Talking about her experience, Lara says, "Before we started working on 100 for the prep of my character, we went out and met with a lot of real-life female police officers who are part of the force and high-ranking officers. I was really amazed to see how these function in a pretty much predominantly man's world, and it was incredible to see the kind of body language that they had and the power they exuded. I remember the female police officers that we met, they would tell us that in a lot of ways they have just become one of the guys, and that the only way to really be able to function within the force, even just the way their body language is and the way that they dress, the way that they instructed their subordinates, for me, it was not just learning, but also learning and adapting to their mentality." Hotstar Specials presents 100 is about a terminally ill girl, Netra Patil, Rinku Rajguru, looking for thrills, is hired to be an undercover agent by an ambitious female cop, ACP Samya Shukla Lara Dutta, looking for a promotion. That makes more sense of the thing we just watched.
Yes, I was kind of getting that.
As they both unite to accomplish their own goals in 100 days, chaos ensues. Directors Ruchi Narain, Ashutosh Shah, and Daher Shabir have maintained a crisp balance between action, drama, and humor that make 100 a fun family entertainer. The cast includes powerhouse talent in prominent roles, including... Okay, so, is 8 episodes, launches on the 25th of April, so it's out.
It definitely does have that fun feel. I wasn't expecting that to be the story. Like, oh, she's got 100 days to live. There's nothing left to lose, you know what I mean?
Well, I wonder if the 8 episodes span those 100 days, or if we have a slice of those 100 days and the next season will be another slice of those 100 days.
Yeah, well, that's if they're very confident that they will get a second season.
I could. My understanding might be limited, but a lot of Indian shows that do well run for a very, very long time. Like, a long time. So you have at least potentially 100 episodes.
You could definitely have 100 episodes, or it could just be that, you know how sometimes you get diagnosed when you have a terminal illness and the doctor goes, "Sir, you only have 3 months to live." And you're like, oh God, well, screw it. And then everybody in your family is all sad and stuff. Everyone quits their jobs and they come and be with you for the remainder of your life. And then you just keep on going.
Yeah.
You just defy the odds. 5 years later, you're like, I don't know what happened. I'm still knocking about.
The thing about India that I noticed that's different from the States is the potential for longevity is much stronger there. Like, we were just looking at the Rishi Kapoor trailer a moment ago, and you saw, like, just the span of his career. And it just seems like still, right now, I mean, things could change any time. It seems like a lot more appreciation and value is given to the talent and the shows in general in India more than here in the States. But maybe I'm looking at things through a skewed perspective.
But what did you think about the trailer?
It was cool. Now that I understand it better, it's a very interesting premise that's different from things that we have seen before. And again, not to kiss India's butt, but that's one of the things that I like about when we're watching Indian stuff is that you'll see these concepts that are like, oh, that's new. I haven't seen that before. Like, oftentimes when you see stuff in the States, especially when you think about books like Save the Cat, it's a lot of just the same ideas kind of retooled and repurposed often. Like, it's basically like this thing over here, which is slightly different. Whereas this is a very unique concept from what I can understand. Like, you have this lady who's teaming up with someone who's undercover that's dying. Not just that, but there's like very heavy comedic overtones. And so they're having fun within this, and I think that's really cool. One of my favorite films, I wouldn't say it's high up on the list, but I enjoyed it quite a bit, is 50-50 with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and what's his name? Seth Rogen. Yeah, his laugh.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a very serious topic in that story, but it still had a lot of laughs. And so I think it's awesome when you can have serious matters, but find a way to introduce ha-has into it without it being forced or contrived or whatever, or being like not tactful or tasteless.
Especially when you're dealing with something as heavy as a terminal illness, sometimes the best way to go about it is to just approach it with some humor. Otherwise, it just turns into something really depressing.
Right. Well, that's the great thing about this, because they're leading in with comedy and this sense of a little bit of goofiness, a little bit of borderline slapstick, kind of. Because they're leading in with that, they can more easily hit you, that left hook, man, when it starts to get emotional and serious. you will feel it even more because you're more vulnerable to it. Whereas when you watch something like, let's say, Titanic, right? You're going into, I don't know why that example, when you go into that, you're sort of expecting things to be sad. And so I think it mitigates the impact to a certain degree. Whereas when you're watching this, you're not expecting tears, and therefore it's going to hit you harder. When I watched Big Hero 6, which is mostly ha-has and fun, when emotional stuff happened, I was really emotional. I don't know why, but other than what I'm saying, which is it just caught me off guard. It had a very Terminator 2 kind of ending, and I was like, oh, god dang it. And I think this has the same potential because you're dealing with a serious subject matter, but it sort of falls to the background because you're focused on the action and the fun, and then it comes in and you're like, oh, Lord, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, and I really like the two leads here. Like Lara Dutta seems to kind of really embody that tough girl lady cop situation, you know, like she's super serious. And then
you see why.
Yeah. Because she's done a lot of research and stuff, which is great. And then Rinku Rajguru, I really like her character in this. Like she's just really light and bubbly and effervescent and funny. And so you get this like nice little contrast, and I think they're gonna make a really cool team.
Effervescent?
Effervescent.
What does that mean?
Bubbly.
Effervescent.
Yes.
That's a very big word to describe bubbly.
Bubbly.
You're very effervescent.
Yes, like fizzy.
You're a very fizzy individual.
Like a fizzy drink. Effervescent. Like effervescent vitamin C.
I want to see you try saying that to a broad at a bar and see what happens. When bars are available again.
Why?
You're so effervescent. What does that mean?
I would impress her with my smarts. Maybe you should try that. And then maybe you would have kisses in real life and not be friend-zoned, Jaby KOAY.
You're referring to another trailer reaction, by the way. You're mixing up the two things.
Ah, yeah.
So
if you watch all of our trailer reactions, you will know.
I can't help but remember when my best friend when I was a kid tried talking to a girl at a bar and said, "You look like an elf."
How did that go down?
Horribly. She cried. She thought he was calling her a midget or something, or a troll.
Oh, she thought Santa Claus elf, and he was thinking like a Lord of the Rings elf. Wow.
Or that, or what is Gimli? Gimli? What's his name?
That's a dwarf.
That's what I'm saying. She probably thought he was calling her a dwarf. She didn't realize he was referring to Lord of the Rings.
He was like, no, I'm thinking Arwen.
Yeah, elves are supposed to be like the most beautiful, fairest creatures in the land, etc.
Well, then clearly that was never going to work out because she's not nerdy enough.
Anyway, to the research of, what's her name?
Lara Dutta.
Lara Dutta. To her research, like, I think that really comes across. She basically took the role as serious as you would a dramatic role. She didn't just come in and wing it. She spent a lot of time to really understand this character, even though it's like being painted as a lot of ha-has and jokes and whatnot. She has taken that role as serious as possible, and that really comes across. And I appreciate the time she put into that, rather than just trying to wing it and being like, yeah, I'll just put on the costume and do it. She actually put in the time to figure out how to behave and basically translated all of her research into this character, and she's really embodying all those people that she spent time with.
Yeah.
I think, because even in this photo alone, like, she looks like that person. She looks like that cop in the street that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, she looks super badass.
So I like that. I appreciate knowing what she's put into it and how effectively it's working. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed some of that. Check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Do subscribe if you have not already, and hit that bell icon, that Jennifer Sun bell icon. All notifications, please. Or at least some. That would be, anything's great, please. Check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, vlogs, and interviews. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.